So I've been playing around with the Apple TV for a while now. I want to give you my impressions. The first thing is with the remote. Now, the touchpad is at the top here, and then there's a bottom glossy part. They're actually exactly the same proportionate, and I often find myself picking it up on the wrong side. I'm like, oh, I can't do anything. Dark bedroom, lights are off, easy to do. Even when the lights are on and you're not paying attention, it's very easy to pick up the remote the wrong way. The glossy part on the bottom also shows a ton of fingerprints on it and just kind of looks ugly after just a few minutes of usage. That just seems poor design. That I expect better from Apple on that. But let's look at the actual Apple TV now. So here's the interface. You see I installed a handful of apps. The Apple TV does severely lack in the App Store compared to the Roku and the Fire TV. I'm sure they'll catch up on that. But there's a lot of noticeable exceptions missing that probably will never come. Amazon being one of the most notable. Amazon's the #2 largest streaming service in the United States. It has Emmy award-winning content, and it's not available on the Apple TV. I often hear, well, they could put it in the Apple TV. And they could have put it on previous generations of the Apple TV also. If Apple and Amazon wanted to do that, they could have done it. But it just looks unlikely that it's going to happen. Nothing at this time, at recording this now, makes you think that the Apple TV will get Amazon or many of those other stores or competing services with Apple products. So that's a big drawback. There are a good amount of apps here. Nothing exclusive really stands out unless you count the iTunes Store. But pretty much everything in the iTunes Store, I haven't found anything that's not also on Amazon or Vudu or MGO and so forth. So that is what it is. They are adding more content, so that'll probably change quickly. When you launch in the home screen, right here's the home screen. As you can see, they're pushing iTunes. They want you to buy content through them so they make money. The iTunes movies, TV shows, apps, photos, and your music. Kind of launch into the TV shows. Let's go back here. You can see here's the stuff I've purchased. Across the top, you got genres and so forth. Let's go back to what I've purchased. I haven't really used iTunes in a while, so a lot of this is older. Let's go to World's Dumbest. A little bit of a load time on this. We'll hit play on episode 1 real quick. And to be honest with you, I'll show you in a minute, but Netflix seems to work quicker. The other thing is there's no back button on the remote. If you want to go back up to where you were, you have to hit the menu button. Kind of a confusing thing for, I think, elderly users of the Apple TV. Will probably find that a little confusing. So you can hold the menu button down and return the home screen anytime. So that's how fast the iTunes plays. Let's look at Netflix playing. This is well into an episode. As you see, very quick. Netflix works better on the Apple TV than iTunes works on the Apple TV. That should not happen on an Apple TV. It should just instantly play. So let's kind of back up, click something completely different. The Blacklist, hit play. You see, very quick. Scroll along here. Very quick. Much better than the iTunes. That's kind of a disappointment, to be honest with you. I expected Apple's iTunes to work better than Netflix on the Apple TV. Watch ESPN has one very annoying thing. This video at the top of the screen, this plays no matter what. You see it's kind of covered right now by that, but right here it is. It auto plays. It's the same video all day throughout my testing of this. Kind of annoying. And if you want to pause it, you have to first launch it in full screen, hit the menu back button, and then the play pause. And now you can scroll around without playing, though it's probably buffering, wasting data if you have a data cap. The Apple TV is not a data cap friendly device. It just is not. So keep that in mind. And then you can go through here and let's kind of, let's launch this right here. Right here is the Michigan football. This is a replay. As you see, starts off a little fuzzy and then gets higher quality. Again, I'm out of it and it's still playing. Now I backed out completely of the app to stop it. Let's check out the voice feature here. What is the weather outside? Now, unlike the Fire TV, it will not speak to you. There is no voice feedback on this. But you can see right here is the weather. Now, Michigan football. Let's see what it kind of brings up. It's thinking a long time here. Not the fastest. But of course, that's maybe just my personal opinion. Okay, it brought up the roster. The Fire TV would have brought up the score. Now, if I wanted to score the game, Michigan football score. It does bring that. Now, let's kind of exit out here. Let's do this again. Michigan football score. See, it brings up just that little lower third, which can be kind of nice. But then there's no audio playback. There's very little information on here. It's kind of like, why use this feature? I got the same complaint about Alexa on the Fire TV. Why use it? When your phone's right there, Google Now on iOS and Android will give you that information without having to stop whatever movie you're doing. Let's search for some content. The Hills Have Eyes. All right, so right down here is The Hills Have Eyes, with Halloween being recent. But you notice it brings you in here, and what does it show you? Just the iTunes Store. Let's go back out of here. Let's do something I know is on Netflix. Family Guy. All right, seasons 1 to 4. Oh. Family Guy. As you see, seasons 1 through 14 is on iTunes, Netflix, Hulu, and so forth. So that is nice. Siri wants to open it? Yes. An annoyance. Why do I have to say yes? Of course I clicked on that. Yes, I want that. It's a security feature, but it's an annoying one. One that that the Roku does not do. So pluses and minuses. It does work very well. I've actually kind of missed the voice search. If I'm gonna get it on my TV, I want it read to me. I'd like a little bit more information on the TV, maybe. When I search for a football team or game, it will, on the Fire TV, it says, and their next game will be Saturday at noon or something. So there's, it's a software thing. A lot can be upgraded, a lot can be fixed here. Pluses, it is a nice interface. It's a newer device with the App Store. They are kind of behind the Fire TV and Roku in app selection. But you would expect them to improve that. But I expected more at launch from Apple. I mean, it's Apple. You expect more from them. I'm also disappointed with how slow getting into some of these apps can be. And let's go to Ice Road Truckers, and I'll show you another very annoying thing. Even though this has a 32 gigabyte internal hard drive, you see there is no way to download this. It's stream only for content. You can install games. So I really wouldn't recommend the 64 gigabyte version unless you really want gaming. Is it possible they come back later and enable downloading? Sure. For offline play? Sure. Why they haven't done it already? I don't know. That seems like a super easy thing that should have been done already. So that's there. I will show you one last very annoying thing. Here's Hulu. Haven't installed the app yet. Let's click on password. Okay, so let's say I have an A and a Z back to back. My email address, password, whatever. So I hit the A. I go left, expecting to jump over, and it's not there. I have to go all the ways over. It's like, see, what you find yourself doing all the time while setting this up is scroll, 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 scroll. And when you can easily overshoot what you want, forcing you to back up and try to do it. I'll be honest, this is not as nice as a D-pad. Yeah, there's cool things you can do with it. I find myself jumping between rows when I didn't mean to. I find myself overshooting, undershooting, and honestly, my thumb just got kind of sore from setting up all the different apps with all the different passwords. So this is just the touchpad, the email here, the password is very annoying. When you go in the store and you want to install anything within app's purchases, or you want to buy a movie or something, you have to enter the password. Yes, you can disable the password completely or not require it, but I don't want my 3-year-old daughter buying stuff in the iTunes store, so I want a password. It's annoying to every time I have to do it. Roku probably does this the best with their PIN system. Yes, they have a full-blown password that's secure, longer. Apple TV wants you to do that for your security, but it should have, in your house, for your Fire TV, there should be a 5-digit PIN that you can set up so that your kids can't buy movies. You don't want them to. Yet you don't have to enter a 10-digit password on that very annoying password screen. So that's my review of the Apple TV. I cannot recommend it over the Roku or the Fire TV at this time. The app selection is considerably smaller. The remote, I'm not a big fan of the touchpad. It seems, this seems like a lot of work compared to the Apple or a D-pad. Now you can't just kind of slide your finger back and forth. You have to continuously be rotating it around, because when you do this, let me get a little better position here. See, up and down. I mean, this only takes you one to the left or to the right. Unless you get some speed behind it, it may jump a couple. It's just annoying. It really is. The password screen's annoying. The touchpad's annoying. The fact the glossy finish with all your fingerprints is ugly. I expected more from Apple. I had higher hopes for this device. With a huge internal hard drive, I should be able to download my shows. I should be able to sit here and say, I want to be able to download a season of the shows I watch over and over. My daughter could watch Dora right now all day, every day. And in the morning when I'm getting ready, she gets a little TV time. At night, she gets a little bit of milk, and she watches one episode of something. And that way, that kind of calms her down. Well, I have a data cap. I want to be able to download that from iTunes, put it on my Apple TV, and then I'm not incurring data usage every time she watches her favorite episode of Princess Sophia, the first, or Dora, when she's having a little bit of milk at night in her cup, or I'm getting ready in the morning and she's having her half an hour of TV time. So, there's a lot of promise here. Yes, they could fix this. Yes, they could put Amazon on here. But there's no signs they're going to do that. It really is no evidence that Apple is going to fix any of these issues or allow you to do any of those things you kind of want to do, like have Amazon here, have downloadable content, and so forth. Questions, comments, want to disagree with me? I'm welcome to hear from you. Convince me otherwise. Leave them on YouTube or visit us at CordCuttersNews.com.